Alright, so, before this video starts, I just want to say, whatever dumbass decides to go out of their way and try to point out the hypocrisy of the comparison I made between old video game tribalism and new video game tribalism, no matter what it is that you say to me, aside from the people that's had their own individual personal experiences, for the most part, especially over the internet, especially in real life, video game tribalism was just a lot more fun. It was funnier. There was a lot more entertaining and hilarious things to come out of things like PlayStation versus Xbox and other things like that. But nowadays, with how video game tribalism is, that shit is ass, that shit is exhausting. Literally hate it. Cause now it's gone from clever, hilarious, and genuinely funny roasts to people legitimately getting butthurt because of the games that other motherfuckers play. Like, why don't you just go ahead and just focus on the product that you bought or downloaded, bruh? Ain't no reason for you to get bent out of shape like a fucking pretzel because somebody else likes something that you don't. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get right into the video. Tribalism in the video game industry has been one of the most popular and funniest concepts to exist in video game history. From the console wars to the clans in Call of Duty, Destiny vs Halo, Overwatch vs Valorant, and Call of Duty vs Rainbow Six Siege, people who decide to make something they love their entire personality never fails to spark drama or discourse against people who do the same but of the opposite of their interests. Now, when I was a young kid, these sorts of things I found quite funny. Being born and raised with nothing but PlayStations all around me, I remember the first time an Xbox player shit on me as a person because of the console I played. And oh, I fired back, and boy, that shit was funny as fuck. Roasting somebody based on their preferences back in the day had to be one of the most hilarious ways to roast someone, and these sorts of wars, for the most part, at least, brought us incredible innovations in the gaming industry because of the sheer amount of support that both franchises of whatever is being compared received. Both sides continued to improve to please their dedicated fans, make more money, and tried to convert the other side. It was toxic, it was bad, and most importantly, it was hilarious.
Selling console. Bro, you're not even good. Proof's in the pudding, bud. Nobody says that. And we got way better exclusives than you. No, you don't. We have The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Uncharted, God of War. Okay, but we got Sunset Overdrive, Forza, Titanfall, and even Halo. Everything after Halo 3 was trash. He's got a point. But didn't your whole PlayStation network get hacked?
The most important thing to come out of all of this was the fact that for the most part, within these smaller friend groups and discussions back in the day, it was fun. I think a lot of the fun of doing these sorts of things had been sucked away when COVID-19 hit. People weren't able to go out anymore, friendships became distant, products became more lackluster, people started living over the internet far more often than they should have, and new people who should have never had access to the internet to begin with began signing on and interacting with people. Things just became far too political. I remember being in high school, having friends who played Xbox or enjoyed Call of Duty more than Siege or Naruto more than Dragon Ball, and us getting into these funny ass arguments on what was better, PS3 or 360, Xbox One or P4. Nowadays, video game tribalism ain't entirely funny anymore, especially in the gacha space, especially with this whole Hoyo and Kuro Games bullshit. With the way people are nowadays being far more sensitive than they ever were, being far more toxic than they ever have been, and yes, they use their don't be toxic mindset so vehemently that they end up becoming worse than the unfiltered insults in the Call of Duty days. And yes, I would rather be subject to sitting in a game with someone throwing every racial slur at me in the book than deal with people in the gacha space, especially with a lot of them being from the Genshin side of things, doing their virtue signaling bullshit to try to bring other people down or attempt to seem higher than everyone else morally because they don't play or appreciate certain things like other people do. Whether it be gameplay style, storytelling, the attraction of a character, or overall the worst of them all, those weird toxic shippers and fictional character white knights over sexuality that just like to stick their disgusting pimple-covered noses into everything and correct it. These people has taken tribalism to an exhausting, annoying, and overall disappointing degree. Shit like this used to be fun, but now it's obnoxious. People are legitimately trying to embody these sorts of things as their dedicated entire existence. And oh, God forbid a friend of theirs decides to play something different from them. I've heard horror stories about some people ending entire friendships because they choose to play one gacha over the other, even as small as one character or team over the other. Now, I'ma be quite honest, that shit just sounds like the dumbest shit someone could do. Imagine basing your entire friendship solely on the game you play, and ending said friendship if you're one of the hoyotards who will not talk with someone anymore because they play Wuthering Waves or PGR, or if you're a dumbass Kuro purist who will refuse to respect or give the time of day to a friend of yours as soon as you find out that they play Genshin or Star Rail. At the end of the day, both sides need to understand, y'all motherfuckers are just playing a gambling addiction enabling gacha game, but in different flavors. I'm not about to sit here and watch a meth head and a crackhead argue with each other about which drug they snort or shoot up is better. But I'ma be quite honest, that shit sounds more entertaining than having to read the brain rot on Twitter or YouTube comment sections of certain videos. Shit, I'd rather sit through a stream of Tectone talking about the intricate ways he shaves his fucking head than sit down and listen to someone's reasoning on why they vilify someone for the gacha they play without even knowing the type of person they are. Hell, even speaking of Tectone, I think that judging someone or judging an entire game based on what a content creator plays is bullshit. It doesn't matter what CC is connected to a game. Don't like them, don't watch them. See, there's a little thing on the internet where it won't recommend content of people you don't consume the content of, no matter how big they are. Plus, if you don't like someone, you got a block button for a reason. Crazy, right? People are losing sight on what the hell these games are for. And you know what? We're not even talking about gacha games just being there to take your money. We talking about games in general, cause the last time I checked, video games were made for people to have fun on. The last time I checked, there's a reason why there's a bunch of different aesthetics and genres for games. It's so not everyone is playing the same shit, so that everyone got something to scratch their own preferences. There's no way in the world every single person will unanimously agree that one game or genre reigns supreme. Why can't we go back to the days where friends can just fuck around and mess with each other and give each other shit for playing certain games, but still be friends at the end of the day? Why do people gotta act like they're talking about the opposition in the blood-filled war? When can we stop making people feel ashamed of playing one game over another? I mean, shit, talk your talk, but sometimes some of these people need to learn to shut the fuck up. I hate people taking these damn gacha games so serious. If you ain't smiling or enjoying yourself on the game, if you huffing and puffing every 5 seconds playing something, why don't you just go ahead and do yourself a favor and switch games, bruh? Maybe some of you should hit up your homies and just play the damn games y'all do like, but you know, together. It's as simple as that. Like what you like, enjoy what you want to enjoy. Anyways, that's enough out of me. As always, regardless of what my mood may have been like towards the end of the video, I want you all to take care and peace.